when I was 3 years old, fixing to turn 4, Silver Dollar City and Pigeon Forge became Dollywood. And my parents took me. And they lost me in Dollywood. For like hours. And when they finally found me, I was in Dolly's replica cabin there by the front entrance, with my face and my hands pressed against the plexiglass, crying because I couldn't get in there to pick up her toys, and I thought she was going to be so bored in Nashville without them. And 4 times a year, until I graduated college, Mom or Dad or Papa and Granny would take me to Dollywood. And I would just stand outside her little apartment by the Rags to Riches Museum that used to be there by the train station tunnel, and just wait for the curtains to move. She might be there. Because my only goal from the time that I was 3 years old was to meet Dolly Parton. And I was tore up when I was 21 years old, and I waited on a table of her friends at Cracker Barrel, and they gave me a piece of Dolly's birthday cake. And I kept that in my deep freeze right up until I got divorced. I got to meet her a handful of times. The best one was, the best visit we ever had was at Kent Wells' studio. She had come in to finish some tracks. It was early in the morning. I had a ride with Craig Morris, who was the band leader for Loretta Lynn's band. It was early in the morning. It was raining. I had on a stitch of makeup. My hair was up in a ponytail. And she walked through, just floated through the studio, and I was like, oh, Lord, not today. So I ran outside, and I put together as much makeup as I could find in the console of a car. Lip gloss, and I don't know. I had my glasses on. Everything was a bad day to not look good. And she talked to me like I was a real person for about an hour. And I thanked her for putting this spark in me. That just because of where I was from didn't mean that was where I was going to end up. We taped every video special, every Good Morning America, every Billy Ray Cyrus video with her, every CMA award, every Good Housekeeping, Woman's World, Southern Living, Country Weekly. I literally have a scrapbook thicker than my catalog of Dolly Parton stuff. Hell, she's hanging in our home. There's a picture of me and Dolly hanging in there, and a Bradford Exchange plate that my mom got me for my 8th birthday. And I just got my friend Erica the Dolly Parton behind the scenes book for her birthday the other day, like day before yesterday. Because I know how much me and her love Dolly. And she knows how much I love Dolly. So using Dolly's own words, we can't get down mired and waller in this. She would want us to go on. She would want us to carry the torch of what she worked 80 friggin' years to build. To give people that don't have a chance a stage. To give kids that don't read a book. To give families a vacation that couldn't make it to Disney World. To give songwriters like me a chance. A dream. So, I'm going to have to pull myself up by my high heels and my big hair and my rhinestones. And we're going to have to pick up the torch. Because y'all sure as hell let it slip when Jeannie died, and you sure as hell let it slip when Naomi died, and you sure as hell let it slip when Loretta died, but by God, you ain't going to let it slip now that Dolly's gone. I don't care if I'm the last person in Nashville who gives a fuck about the truth. I will carry on what Dolly's doing, what she's always done. Get their attention by how you look. Keep their attention by what you say. some of the best advice she ever gave me. That besides find out who you are and do it on purpose. She was right about that too. She told me once I had on a Queen Bee shirt from my studio. She said, "Are you the Queen Bee?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Then you need to start acting it." Sage advice for what I'm sure will be a canonized saint. Time is running out. So I'm thankful that God gave me the opportunity to meet Dolly and to work with her. That God put a huge respect and admiration for her in my life. That He forced me not only to look at her music, but to look at her work ethic, her philanthropy, her style, her grace, her faith. Dolly didn't have a piece of property that didn't have a chapel on it. Spent a lot of time praying. She wrote every single day. She always said that it was therapy to her, and if something was bothering her, maybe it would help somebody else, or if she was happy about something, maybe somebody else would be happy about it, and that was her therapy. It was a way of her working things out with God. And I'd like to think that she's standing up there with her daddy and her mama and Carl Dean and her brother that died when he was little and the rest of the family that's passed home. I just know there will always be an echo in the hollers of Tennessee. There'll always be a Dolly song to fit every occasion. There'll always be a family going on vacation to Dollywood for the first time. There'll always be some nugget of wisdom, some Dolly Parton pearl that will get passed down. She was the true definition of a legacy. Oh, this one hurts. I imagine this is probably how my mom felt when Princess died. Or how my dad felt when Elvis died. Or how my granny felt when JFK died. How I do love Dolly. So anyway, born in Locust Ridge on the 19th day of January 1946. And died Tuesday, August the 25th, 2026. 80 years old. And the phone calls. That's how you know that I love Dolly. I mean, the phone calls and the text messages that have been pouring in for the last hour is ridiculous. People knew. They just knew. I was the biggest Dolly fan that ever was. And not even all of her music. Mostly just her. I want to start a theme park in my backyard. Tell everybody to suck it. Control country and pop radio. Be in a bunch of movies. Give a bunch of books to kids. Have a statue of myself on the courthouse lawn. I mean, goals, people. Goals. There'll never be another Dolly. And I think that was her whole mission. And how lucky we were to have her in the world at the same time that we were. So make sure, if a baby's born today, they don't forget about Dolly Parton. Make sure that if your kids are listening to music, you throw Dolly in the playlist. Make sure if you're sitting down with your teenagers and you want to watch a good tearjerker this weekend, pull up Steel Magnolias. Thank you, Dolly. Between you and God, I have a career in this business. So, so that's what I know. Well, that's it. I love you guys. And remember, I'm so Beth here and you're not.